Seeing this film, I was so pleasantly surprised to see how inclusive it is in a very, not in your face way, but I appreciated so many of the dance sequences were men with makeup or men and men or women together. It was so great. How important was that for you to make this film as inclusive for everyone as possible?
I always feel like fantasy films are sort of the standard of what a story is supposed to be like, in a way. They're timeless and they live forever. And Wizard of Oz is an American story, so the idea of re-representing what a fantasy world should look like was very important to me. We didn't want to make it a giant story issue. We wanted to normalize what the world looks like. And when you have great actors, when you have a great story, it makes it very easy. So it was something we were all very conscious of. Yeah, that's our world.
That's right.
What's the big question,
I spoke to Ariana and Cynthia, and I brought up something, and they agreed. So I love that Fiyero is clearly adored by all the women.
Of course.
Also, we see some of the boys, Bo and Gang.
Of course.
Ariana's like, everyone is queer in this world. What do you think? I mean, I feel like Fiyero could be for everyone.
Yes. Yeah. Love is love is love is love.
That's right.
But the reality is, Johnny Bailey just evokes that. He comes on set like everyone's looking. It doesn't matter what you are, what you think you are. Like, he is so charming. Charm is charm. And I would say the same thing with Ari and Cynthia. Those two walk into a room and everyone can't keep their eyes off of them.
Yep.
And it's an attraction, and it's not necessarily even a physical, it's an attraction to a spirit. And I felt that when each of them walked into the room separately, and I knew that inherently this movie had to have that attraction. You had to want to find out what was going to happen, and you had to be sort of questioned on your own, what you think beauty is like, and what you think a witch should look like, and what you think evil or good or wicked should be like. And that's sort of the themes of a lot of stuff we're dancing with here.
Yeah. You've made some of my all-time favorite movies, and I know this is like your all-time favorite thing.
Love it. Yes.
So, I mean, here we are more than 20, almost 30 years later, thinking of, since the inception of the book and then obviously Broadway. What does it mean for you to be the one that is telling this two-part story that we're so excited about on the big screen?
It's scary as hell.
Don't be. It's amazing. I got to see it.
Thank you. Now I have a very different relationship with Wicked. It is a part of my heart. Before I was a fan, and I knew the areas to protect. I didn't know where we were headed. I'm a big process person. I believe in the process, and the girls would tell you too. Like, sometimes we just didn't know the destination. We'd be like, we know the truth of where we're headed with this scene. Let's just lean into that, and the movie will speak back to us. But we have to listen when the movie's speaking back to us. And so I think that was often the case, and I feel like the movie took a form of its own and would guide me in the ways that I needed to make those choices. And seeing people's reactions has been really satisfying because, the movie's right. The movie's always right. You just have to see it. And if you could think about it in your bed, if you could plan it in a meeting, it's not good enough. It's like, what is the alchemy that happens when you get brilliant people in a room and you're all targeting the same emotion? And what are the things that, from costumes to production designs to camera to choreography to acting, how do those all integrate in a way that feels very natural and organic? And so that's what we try to do.
Well, it really is so impressive, and we love it so much. Thank you so much for the time.
You can do anything.